A lot of people are opting out on college, and I really can't blame them. It's not what it used to be, hasn't been for a long time. In my opinion, okay, and I'm just going off my opinion. I'm not trying to tell anybody how to live their life, but you would be far better off getting a trade or something like that because there's just not much to college anymore. Unless, of course, you like lectures, not in science or math or English. No, uh, lectures on how terrible of a person you are, particularly if you're a white male. So, University of Kent, this is a great example of this. It's the UK's leading European university. All right, so you go to University of Kent. What's one of the first things you have to do? Well, you've got to take a white privilege test, which include things like swearing and wearing second-hand clothes. Second-hand clothing is now considered privilege. What? What? What are they talking about? How is wearing second-hand clothes privilege? I think you've got that backwards, Kent University. Privilege would be a family that has multiple children and can buy each child new clothing. It's literally a penny pitching, and I would say, honestly, like that's more of a person that lives in poverty having to pass down clothing. It's the standards for what privilege is. So what is it? Anybody, if they're white, they're privileged? If a family lives in a car, but they're still white, are they privileged? So they're living better than a family of color in a middle-class life? The F is going on, okay? This is real. It's a 4-hour mandatory course. Let me read you a little bit of this. The University of Kent has instructed every student to complete the 4-hour mandatory module, covering topics such as privilege and microaggressions and pronouns. The course, titled Expect Respect, and seen by The Telegraph, includes a privilege quiz where participants are asked to pick which of 13 options are social or societal benefits allegedly enjoyed by hot people in the UK. If the student ticks all 13, a gold star is awarded, and if not, a button appears directing them to try again. So you don't even get to say, no, these aren't societal privileges. You have to try again. You don't even get to dispute it. That's messed up. And then here's the list of what privilege is. I can swear or dress in secondhand clothes without having people attribute these choices to the bad morals, the poverty, or the illiteracy of my race. Other examples include I can go shopping without being followed or harassed, being sure of having neutral or pleasant neighborhoods, and I can do well in a challenging situation without being called a credit to my race. Most of these, like swearing, having pleasant I've lived in some shitty areas and I've had good neighbors. And I've lived in some really good areas and had shitty neighbors. That, like, who your neighbors are, no matter where you live, is like, it's like a drop of the hat thing because you can't get to know them before you move in. So that to me has nothing to do with the level of your income. Second, being followed. I've been followed around stores while shopping, and I don't think that has anything to do with anything. But the secondhand clothing thing is effing ridiculous. Like I said, so how much longer until they straight out say, and I wouldn't be surprised if they've done it, like a homeless family in a car is more privileged than a family of color in a middle-class neighborhood. Is that where we're going now? Hell, even people in a lower-class home are more privileged than a homeless family. But I guess it all has to do with color now. Like, this is ridiculous. This is why a lot of people are opting out of college. But one thing that's really cool here is a lot of lecturers and professors, they're not giving this test. It has sparked backlash from professors who told the Telegraph they are refusing to comply, and they think it's a betrayal of academia's core values. I've said that I'm not going to do it, add trigger warnings, or decolonize reading lists. I'm not going to tell students to do this module either, said Ellie Lee, professor of family and parenting research at Kent, adding quite a lot of colleagues have followed suit. Encouraging people in the academy to narrow their field of reading and narrow students' reading seems to me to be simply Philistine and irresponsible. Students are being instructed thinking through this module that there is a correct way of thinking. You think? You think? And then another one says this is thought policing, and there's a danger of promoting conformism on campuses under the guise of education that you indoctrinate people into woke dogma. It's kind of nice that people are finally starting to wake up. Maybe some of these professors are finally starting to realize that if they keep doing this, the number of people going to college are going to drop. Mostly men. Like, men aren't going to college anymore. A lot of them are just dropping out and they're going to do trade school and stuff like that. I was just reading about that the other day. I almost made a video on it. Because basically, it was really funny. The article was basically saying men stop going to college, women most affected. Because women don't want to, if they have a degree in college, they don't want to get with guys that don't have one. Or if they make more money than a guy, they don't want to be with a guy that makes a lower income. So, of course, women are most affected by these things. It's ridiculous. So, men are dropping out. Men aren't going. It's getting so bad. Like, schools, I guess, are like, I remember reading this somewhere. You would have to look into it and fact check it. But I'm pretty sure I read something about, like, people kicking around. It wasn't coming like officially out, but people were telling others, like, low key, we got to get guys to come back to school, almost wishing they could give guys some kind of like scholarship or something, but they don't want to do that because if they do that, it'll destroy narratives. And of course, the people will throw sexism at them, even though the numbers are pretty damn clear that guys aren't going to college anymore. And if it keeps going at the rate it is, it's going to cause problems with couples and marriage, even though those are already kind of destroyed. And you're going to see a lot of single guys out there that are just checked out. So, keep it up. It's almost like they're getting what they want out of it. But I like to see, some professors standing up to this shit like they're talking about in here and saying, this is wrong, because it is. And if you keep it up, you're going to be out of a job because you're not going to have a school to go to because it's going to close down due to lack of tuition. Anyway, they're not going to be able to pay your ass. Let me know what you guys think about all this. I'd like to hear from you. Also, if you would please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. Also, if you want to help support the channel, check out my Teespring store. There's a link in the description. You can find some merchandise in there that you might want to check out. Also, make sure to follow me over on Twitch. I do watch parties, play video games over there. They're always fun. Follow me over there and come hang out. Also, make sure you subscribe to YellowFlash, my other channel. There's a link to that in the description as well. I do a lot of live streams over there that I don't do on this channel. Usually smaller and a little bit more personal. So make sure you follow me over there and sign up.